Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the Chevrolet Corvette Z06. Huge shout out to 704 Exotics for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. The Z06 had an original MSRP at $107,000. It had $30,000 worth of factory options for this 2016, including the Z07 package, along with this being a 3LZ model. So it has pretty much everything that you could want. Now with 15,000 miles on it, it is going for the mid $70,000 range. So if you're looking for an American muscle car, this Corvette is going to check those boxes with the amount of power that this has. So it is powered by a 6.2 liter supercharged V8, pumping out 650 horsepower and torque. This model is paired to the 8-speed auto. However, there is a 7-speed manual option. It's rear wheel drive, weighs in around 3,500 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. And then as far as fuel economy goes, you're looking at 15 miles per gallon in the city and 22 out on the highway. So not all that bad considering the amount of performance that this model has to offer. Now up front, you'll notice there's an extension for the lower section of the bumper there, which also has a really nice design to it. There's cameras up front too. Lots of cutouts provide cooling to all of the components up front, including the heat extraction vent right on the top of the hood there. There's also some really nice bulges where the headlight housings are, so those flow nicely with that bodywork. And then this model also comes with carbon ceramic brakes, gloss black wheels with the red massive brake calipers there. There's also functional vents behind that with the Z06 supercharged badge, really nice rocker side panel there, and then some lines that flow down the side. Now, even though this is a coupe, it does have the targa removable top. So you can take that off and place it in the back, which is a really nice design to see. There's also massive fender arches with very crisp lines coming all the way to the back. Now, this also has a very large fixed spoiler in the back. You get LEDs for the lighting, backup camera with all the parking sensors, and then right in the middle is the quad tip center exit exhaust. Now, since this is the automatic, we can actually remote start this and bring this to life. Has a really good sound to it. You can use the remote to shut it off as well. And then taking a look at the cargo space, there's actually a control underneath. So you don't have to grab your key fob, you can open this up, where you have a surprising amount of space. You could definitely fit in a lot of items, making this a practical performance style vehicle. There's even some tie down hooks too. And then it does have the soft close. So as long as you just latch it a little bit, it will close the rest of the way. So you have a lot of space in the back with that design. Now, working our way to the back, you'll notice there's some more inlets. You have the handle on the back side to electronically open up this door. And this model is very nicely spec'd with all the leather. There's memory seating adjustments, Bose for the audio. Corvette is down on the door sill there. And then there's also a really nice set of seats with Z06 up in the headrest there. And then it's a low car, so it's easy to get into. And we do have the electronic release. If that or the battery fails for whatever reason, the manual release is in the footwell. Now, this also has a leather steering wheel with the paddle shifters on both sides. But let's start this back up and take a listen to how this sounds. And coming back to the gauge cluster now, you'll see miles per hour on the left. On the right side, you have fuel and some PSI settings. And then right in the middle is a digital screen where you can use controls on the right side. Now, there's also volume underneath that. You have voice commands and Bluetooth. And then you can scroll through all of this information just to see what vitals you want to get into. So there's not a whole lot there, but you can go to the left where now you can get to your navigation, your phone, you have audio, and even performance. So you can scroll through all of these vitals now, depending on what you'd like to see. 0 to 60 time, all the temperatures that you can monitor too. And then you can even get into some standard information and go through that. So you have some of more of the daily driving stats that you can monitor and see. On the left side, you have favorites for your audio along with cruise control. There's also the rear trunk release, and then you have a head-up display adjustment along with your side mirror controls. So you can go through the head-up display, adjust the height of it, and then pull up a little bit of information. So you can bring up the tach, you have miles per hour, even the gear that you are in. There's leather covering the entire dash for this model. And then for the infotainment system, it is a touchscreen system, so you can at least go through some of this information, and you can even hide some items and charge them behind that screen. I think that is a really cool integration to see. You do have some physical buttons for it as well that you can use that rotary dial too. And then you have a single zone, you have fan speed, temperature. This gets heated and ventilated seats, and then all of the physical buttons for the climates. You get an auxiliary along with cup holders, and then even a backup camera along with Alcantara for the shifter there. You have the e-brake, and then you have a mode selector. So you can go into touring mode, you have eco, there's also a weather mode, and then you can get into sport mode, you have track mode too. And then traction control is right in the middle. And then there's also a little bit of storage in the center armrest. You do get storage in the glove box. And then you have some OnStar controls up top, and then Alcantara for the headliner. Now, in order to remove the top, you have a handle on both sides up front and then one in the back. And then you can pop that off, get that nice open air experience, fit it in the back there. There's some levers where it can go. And then other than that, you have a lot of visibility, even with those long pillars in the back. You can kind of see out of that cargo window slightly, but it's still pretty easy to see. As we set up behind the wheel now for the Z06, this is the second C7 Z06 I've been able to drive and check out. The first one had the manual transmission, so if you want to see how that vehicle drives, take a look at that separate review video. So now getting to take a look at the automatic and what this has to offer. So far it seems pretty nice. The paddles seem pretty responsive for the light shifting that I've just been doing here. But what's also a good thing and a bad thing about this car is that it is extremely performance oriented. The bad thing is this should not be your first vehicle. This is a vehicle that you need to have driving experience in order to hop into a car like this, because we have a lot of horsepower and a lot of torque to the rear wheels, where this car could get sideways if you are not comfortable or careful with how you are driving it. So I am not going to be doing anything intense today, but I do have some experience with driving this car in general. So we'll just give it a minor acceleration where you still have plenty of power and get up. It also sounds really good too. Now I will say, I am a fan of the manual transmission. To me, the paddles in this, maybe they could be a little bit larger. They're still responsive. But maybe if you're just not into the manual anymore, I think the manual Z06 is definitely a lot more fun. Not to say this can't be a fun vehicle either if you're just looking for that performance, but you want to mainly focus on the shifting or using the paddles. I think it's still going to be a great car. You have the same performance figures too. Just the manual feels a little bit more driver focused, I will say, than this. But if you're just wanting something that you could honestly almost daily drive to, this will be a little bit easier, of course, being the automatic. But in terms of driving it, it seems very comfortable. I like that you can see the hood bulge on that passenger side. So while it has a somewhat of a large hood, you can easily see that side. So if you're on mountain roads tracking it, you can place the car very well. Seats also seem to be very comfortable too. And for the mileage, actually almost closer to 17,000 miles for this model here, it's pretty much lost the options that the original owner put on this car. So the depreciation is pretty much the options, but you have almost every box checked for this particular model too. So this is a vehicle that gives you everything for the mid $70,000 range. I think Z06s are holding their value well, even though that is a pretty big hit, but it's almost a 10-year-old car too. So with that, it's really not all that bad. And for the performance that you can get from this Z06 for the $70,000, $80,000, I mean, that's pretty good for the power and what you're getting from this car. So if you're looking for basically a muscle car that has a really nice drive to it and power, it's a good option to go with. So let's give it a small acceleration here, of course. We'll wait till we get straight first. Here we go. Definitely sounds good. It also seems like a good grand touring vehicle. There's a lot of different models that you can go with for the C7, and I think this is a vehicle that is a little bit more sought after than the C8, which we have been able to make videos on that. Engine is behind you instead of in front of you for the C8 model. This might be a little bit more of a collector's car, maybe some C6s, C5s, you know, things like that. But to me, I think that this is a lot more fun to drive. I had a C8 on order and I decided to cancel that because I just didn't see it being as fun. It's a fantastic vehicle to drive. It's definitely a good option to go with, but for me personally, I think if I did it again, I think I would have rather gone with a C7. Now, like I said, I haven't driven these as much, but it just almost has more of an exciting factor to it for me compared to the C8. Now, obviously, a Z06 versus a C8 Z06 would be a completely different story. I have been in that, and that is a monster of a car, but for my pricing, the C8 Stingray would have been the comparison to this Z06. But from second gear, it sounds so good. And it's a fun vehicle, but I think the manual is a lot more fun for sure. But in general, it's a sweet car. You have a lot of tech features, which is nice. For the age of it too, this model seems like it's in really good shape as well. And so you can get into high performance vehicles on the used market, well-maintained vehicles. You can definitely find bargains out there. So if you're looking for that top C7 trim level, you can get into a Z06 for a relatively affordable price. So comment down below, is this the best sub $80,000 performance car to buy if you are in the market for something with performance, something you can daily drive, and is somewhat practical even for a two-seater? Let me know your thoughts down below. And that's going to wrap it up for the C7 Z06. This model also ran until 2019 before the C8 did replace it. So you have some years for the C7 to pick from, depending on what you can find and the options that you are looking to go with. Huge shout out again to 704 Exotics for providing this vehicle for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.